So I looked up the best price for every player, right?
Okay.
And just looking at the best price, there are 9 players that have 10 to 1 odds or shorter. And I'm giving the most amount of value. 9 players at 10 to 1? Don't even think about it if you're going to take one of those names. At this point, you're going to consider something early on. You've got to take longer shots, right?
I was looking way down the board. Two stood out to
Yeah.
me. Alec Pierce, the receiver from Cincinnati, went to the Colts, 75 to 1. I mean, he was one of the top 10, I would say, receivers in the draft based on, I think he was in that first 10 picked, 75 to 1. And then,
Okay.
well, maybe he was top 15. There was a lot of receivers picked, but he was a
Yeah.
higher pick. Yeah.
15, actually. Yeah.
George Pickens, 50 to 1 from Georgia
Mhm.
to the Steelers. That stood out
Mhm.
to me.
Just process wise, when we're trying to figure out what makes sense for offensive rookie of the year, and we'll talk more about it as the season comes along, but we're just taking a first blush look. Jamar Chase was the first receiver to win this award since 2014. The biggest story in the offseason was the movement with all the receivers, the big contracts with all the receivers, A.J. Brown being dealt on night one of the draft. And you had a number of teams go after receivers. Six go in the first 18 selections, and we had that big run starting at 8. I would look to the receiver. As deep as this class is, the impact that receivers have in today's game, along with the quarterbacks, it
Yep.
is the receivers and the cornerbacks. So all of a sudden, it feels like Jamar Chase, what he did last year, even though he wasn't the favorite the majority of the season, that's the game changer. So that's where I'm going to look. Receivers are in a great spot.